Good evening, guys, and welcome in. So glad you can make it. And with that being said, welcome to week two. I know it's a little bit delayed because it's the day after and everything, but it's just solos and it's day one, and I'll be casting for day two with C8. And I forgot to make mention of this in my previous episode about making sure that you guys do get a chance of watching the live broadcast for the trios not grand final, but finals week one, as well as the solos week one for finals. Because both the set of casters between the two, they kind of work hard really to make sure that everything is kind of there for the broadcast, and just making sure that everyone is like in a good state of mind of just like, get the whole experience of the esports side of everything. I'm just a third pair of eyes, and then tomorrow I'll still do tomorrow for day two as a recording just to go over it. That way there's a more concise way of being able to stop, pause, and everything of the nature for the viewers, for the views of like, what is this player doing? How are they doing this and that? Or cool, like you can take the idea into consideration. Trios is a far more wild beast when it comes to that. Solos, it's more straight line. It's more straight jacket lines, where you can see the zipper. And okay, yeah, makes sense. But this is the groupings that we're gonna still have for A, B, and C. This doesn't mean that they're playing all in this, in this straight shot order, but we will have these players actually be more in tuned with making sure they can kind of, feel each other out after this week, because after this week 3 is where we actually start to upheave into the new patch, season 12, with a new potential glyph system, and it's just going to be a good time to see about that, because that can change a lot of things. Mostly the playstyles, granted, can be now switched over because of new in skills granted from the potential systems, such as with the power of moving and shifting for parries, but more importantly, the self-sustain from parries, just having the opportunity of doing that. Even to the extent of gaining yourself not ultimate focus, but damage mitigation for 10 seconds from casting your ultimate with 20%, and that right there is what zipping is all about. But another thing about it is that we'll see the V2, or rather V2, but we'll see armors to be increased as well. And there's a lot of other economy changes that happens in the Motor War, so that's really where things are going to really change up. I'm also changing up the music, so it's no longer that RuneScape music, but to another extension, I'm kind of getting hit with pollen, so allergies are definitely in there. It might sound a little bit stuffy, but hopefully sooner and later I'll be able to get rid of that. But game one's going to start here. Holleroth is the map of choices for the days 1 through 3, and then finals they switch it, where they have Holleroth for the first 3 games, and then they have Morris for the final 3 games. But you're going to see a mono zipping with a 1 lone Tessa from AS from JL. I really want to see how JL AS kind of stacks up here, as well as Frostivus, because I know Frostivus has been, he's just like making sure everything is like, okay, all the jitters are done. I made my first bi-weekly. Now it's time to make it to the second one, and to the third, and to the fourth. And I think he's a good chance of doing that. I mean, we can see how his movement was in that close quarters fight in the day 3 or into finals day, where he has the capabilities of pushing through against top players, right? There's like certain circumstances where it's gear, jades, or just the timings of moves that really just comes down to minute details that can make or break a fight. But variations, Akoses, Justinas, Tessas, and Zippingings, that's going to be what this lobby is going to be consisting of. And Akos is making a surprise back appearance into Holleroth for this season, because we didn't see that much into the week 1, but we did see that into the finals of week 1. Talking about Akos, season 12 changes actually give Akos more chances of doing the power play with that ultimate 20% mitigation, but also to the extent he will also be able to grab Shayol in shield bash form, or not shield bash form, in the Black Tortoise block form, where she's like in that invulnerable state, she takes no damage, so he can actually catch her out. But let's take a look at the skills real quick. All right, everything's standard here. V1, F1 for Kai Bao. Oh yeah, I forgot Kai Bao. He's still in there, baby. He is the hybrid pick. Kai Bao, yeah. Kai Bao is a hybrid pick between him and Panda Man, aka CDY. So this is really interesting. I like this. We are going to see him come back here for week 2. I'm glad. I'm excited. Frostivus though makes his way though towards V2 for the Akos. Yes, standard. We are gonna see the Fairy Shans rock the same builds. Nothing really out of pocket except for Akame, who's running F2, such as how CDY did that in I think day 1, game 6, as well as with day 2 as well for him for CDY, and he did it in finals week as well, or finals day as well for week 1. But the overall consensus is that you can F2 is also gonna get buffed too, so it's faster. So players can use that for quick staggers or such as setting up extensions. But these spawns are really convoluted. I don't really want to go over them, but I'll make sure I'm giving you guys the heads up in terms of this once we get in a big overview of this part 2, because you can see how these spawns are like really placed out between JJH and like just the immense like spacing between everybody, man. So JDG Shishang is over by the Pinnacle Town, but then Ignis Mound for some reason has GG Shaw about a wow. I'm thinking Exton. I'm like that's not Exton. It is Exton. Man, I'm thinking J Team Exton then. I don't know why. I'm looking at Exton and I'm thinking J Team, and then I'm like, wait, no, he's not about Exton. No, he is about Exton. But Bauda is going to be over. Exton's going to be right next to JL's AS. JJH's XXY all the way out there, though, in the ringer. And TE's Jux, not Jux. No, yeah, TE's Jux is going to be right here into the Plume Castle. And XG's Wang Liang just hitting Salvation Podium immediately. This is something that Fang would do, slash DRG's Fang, slash Akuma. So, taking it from that, EWG's Rano's there. I think Frostivus is just really just out here into the Serpent's Pass near to this... to the Misty Forest, so he's just going to be able to go ahead and get as much like of those green and blue troves as much as possible, while Kai Bao actually spawning in the Yushan village, or actually in the Servant's Grounds, or Serpent's Pass, I should say. So we should see some action coming out here immediately, especially Ignis Mound. Oh my goodness, these guys are going for day 1 aggression. Hopefully to see what this kind of leads out towards, because considering that game 1 is like where it's like, all right, we're back in it. It's just for them to come back into the fray. Now Akame having no armor but blue dual blades is gonna keep the movement going. Well, Verse. So wait a second, that's not Chishang. Who is Verse? Who is Verse? I didn't even see this. Bro. All right, so Verse. That's who we got in this play. I've never seen this man play before, so this is a new player on the block for me. Unless he had to change his name. I mean, do you even see his face? Oh, that's him. That was him. That's crazy. That's gotta be him, right? I never seen this man before in my life. But hey, first day playing here, maybe, perhaps. I mean, he probably played in the CN scrims. I didn't check. I honestly didn't even see his scores to like remember his name enough to go through it. I mean, I saw Joy Sheen and I was like, yo, that's crazy. But I don't know where FPX is gonna be here in day 2, so we're gonna see that. But this is the day without Micro Spider. So this is also another acclimated match of just having these players kind of go up against not the top 2s or 3s or 4s, because that grouping also includes towards the extension of DRG. So gonna have to see how that kind of wanna sets them up for it. Now for these groupings, you can see how much spacing and just like there's a lot of carefulness happening here. No one wants to engage because they see so many other players are just hanging around that if once the fight starts to happening and abilities start being heard and used, then someone can just rush in there. Like TE's Justice is already on range duty. Now back into the Pinnacle Town or towards Ignis Mound, you can see T225 up against Arano. As he tries to chase him out here, pole sword in hand, forces that stone form and has Assault Smolder as well. So T225 takes an RB to the face. GG Shaw throws out himself into the ringer things and then gets caught into that Assault Smolder stagger. And Arano actually feels a full blunt force. No parry opportunity here. T225 avoiding the parries or avoiding the blue focuses with no parry confirmations, giving Arano enough time to try to space out. As Arano kind of keeps himself towards his area, he will keep himself nice and steady here for a heal. He's going to be safeguarded by the buildings. Into this region, right? We're in sunny, so not a lot of fireflies to be built. Actually, you know what? Is this really sunny? Hold on a second. Maybe they changed the map rotation. Give me the map. Give me the map. Give me the map rotation. Where I want 1102. I don't think so. No, it is sunny. Okay. Yeah, it makes me look like it's like a little bit dim, like a little there's an orange, flow of glow coming out of there. But hey, we'll have to see. Kai Bao gets a kill off of Verse, first elimination, and then right afterwards, Exton finds elimination off of Jux, just like that. So let's take a look and see what TT5 is, because he might be grabbing his first kill as well here. But GG Shaw has enough sustain here for the Zipings. F1 comes out to negate the R&B from the staff. We're going to see another R&B spam. Going to hold for a hold check and confirms the hooked wings. Hits a Rhino, picks up the Soul Bloom. TT5 has ultimate to mitigate any sort of blue focus pressure if it needs to do so. It's going to hold on to it just a little bit more. Clinks off of Rorano. We're going to see a backline coming in here from XXY, who gets a successful scare rush into an R&B. Now, an ultimate here, like I said, TT5 using it to mitigate any blue focuses that were to come out, for instances. Now, as he baits out another vertical blue focus, he has F1 to back dodge and goes in a 90-degree angle just to close gap towards XXY, but he is putting the pressure with his purple pole sword, jump LMBs, things of the nature, and of course, we're going to see a chase coming out from XXY to kind of confirm a way of a line of sight on TT5, who just can't catch a breakthrough catching scare rushes, so... While Arano is chasing him out here, we're going to see Frostivus closing in from the back line, and XXY in third place, try to chase into this race, trying to finish off the Zipping Ing for their first life. TT25 looking for a scare rush, catches Arano getting locked out there. XXY going to be going to this position. Backing off here, XXY sees about Frostivus, and as the parries come out here, XXY just uses his F1 to negate that R&B blue focus from Frosty. Now, off of this end, you know that Wang Liang, he saw him at Salvation Podium. He's able to grab that gold weapon. It's going to be gold pair of dual halberds. And he's Tessa, right? So now he can really capitalize on catching people outside of the realm of things. There's a lot of fights that happen off camera, Like Exen got his second elimination. Kai Bao got his second elimination. Wang Lang got his first. And it looks like Shaw finds a bounty off of Akame. Now, unsure how TTG5 wants to kind of put this into Arano's pace, because, we know that the bell here is going to... be rung, but the other thing about it is that there it is. It's available. Wang Lang finds this. Arano low. Beacon drop, gets into mech because he knows there's a third party, so he's the one to kind of contest this. Gets a cannon shot of a KTT5. I think it's a common rarity. No, it's blue weapon. Arano's a one shot, so if they can't hit his facing direction, they won't be able to get the kill confirmation. And as Arano kind of looks towards and healing up here in mech form, he's actually just gonna go ahead and just face the danger of TT25, and he won't have enough time to kind of like work his way around to another boost because he already consumed 2 of them, but he will get his purple armor maxed out here. So ideally for Arano is just playing around Plumed Castle's Aquila's Crest, and if he does want to challenge anyone on ground level, that's because they push it like Wang Liang. He wants to try to chase this out. Even though he has blue armor, right, this gold weapons can out damage the purple armor severely, and that's purple nunnies that Arano does have in his hands as well, which are also getting a buff in Season 12. So many things. So many options now. Wang Liang looking to scare rush. Make sure he put his chase out here. Frostivus is going to be right there in the bottom level. As Wang Liang has high ground position, we're going to see Rom Yang already. As Kai Bao is already in there near to the Kucha Stash, or Kucha Cave near this Ice Shard Lake. GG Shaw and TE Jux nearby towards the, not Grizzly Rise, but southwest of Imperial Village. And as Plume Castle does have a Rom Yang there as well, Arano's nearby, Akame's nearby, TT25, AS, XXY, all right there. And then over by the Igneous Mound, we are going to see Frostivus and Wang Liang, as well as Exen rolling up here from the Pinnacle Town. So, I mean, Exen, purple armor, purple weaponry. He's kind of good to go. He already lost his first life, but he got 2 eliminations before his demise. So when it came down to this moment, right, just being able to use that looting pattern off of Pinnacle Town to actually come right back into this fight is kind of immense, especially getting purple weaponry. Now, Wang Ling's still rocking that blue armor, though, so he's going to have to really depend on making sure he can try to catch those horizontals with the dual halberds. It's a kind of a risky... it's risky because he's going to have to mitigate some damage coming out from his opponents that just catch him with R&Bs with pole swords, for instances, where it's like clink into stone form, catch a shunt. By shunting, you mean shifting and LMBing or horizontaling to get that blue focus confirmation for another one, which would then burn his F1. Then that grants the enemy team's full, escape, just full advantage of burning his ability. Now, XCG versus Bauda. So that's Wang versus Exin, JJH's XXY versus Alliance's Frostivus, 521's Akame versus Wolves' Kai Bao. And that's the fight we're going to see here. Purple armors between the both of them. It's going to be Inakos versus Ping Ying. Wolves' Kai Bao has himself a purple fan, so he'll use that into his stead. Goes to the sky. Akame goes inside to that range as well. I like how we're doing first person view. Oh, this is great. Nice parry, though, from Akame. Oh, wait. This is the first time we're actually doing first person view. Yo! All right, hold on a second. Nice F2 negation with the F1. Kai Bao holds blue focus, goes for a clink. We're going to see this going to be a little bit dangerous. He gets caught to the RMB. Jump LMB is going ahead and clinking as it's being expected. And Kai Bao finds himself in the position getting caught to the uppercut RMB from what seems to be Akame's biggest pressure here. Tries to go for a bow shot. And with that, we're going to see an F1 to be initiated. Kai Bao gets caught near to the pounces, but he's going to get caught to the uppercut. Jump LMB to the jump LMB. F2 to roar. And that's going to be an RMB situation. But it looks like Akame was not counting that one in. Misses the V2. I kind of want to watch this one back because I'm looking at this like, dang, dude, that's crazy. And then Kai Bao goes down. So, right here, and you're going to watch this from the point of view of Akame here, so, you know, or Kai Bao, so bear with me. Ultimate cast comes out there. He catches him, goes straight into scale rush. The crazy thing is this. Now, he catches him uppercut here and then goes to the jump. This F2 is so easy RMB confirmation for his staff that I was looking towards Akame using that because that would have caused Kai Bao to get caught. But instead, I don't know, he just started jumping. And I don't know why. I don't know if he just missed inputs, right? Because then he V2'd, scale rushing target. But he finds a kill anyway, so. Can't wait until 20% mitigation for Akos's for activating ultimate. That's going to be fun. Vermilion Bird Smite going to come out here for Akame as he's going to go through, waiting it out as the last possible second. And one thing he's going to actually work through is, I mean, the gold weapon was what again? It was a gold pair of dual blades? Yeah. You know what? Dual blades is going to work so well for him because he has F2. Because he can literally just R&B. After an F2 or an LMB after the F2, if he has Kabloom, if he finds a Kabloom to come off of here for those dual blades, and if not, he can run the dual halberds. The only thing is that dual blades can come at a high cost when you're after a patch that had happened where it extended the vertical distancing of your opponents when you get launched by blue horizontals or verticals. That you can also hit a secondary blue focus, like the double blue focus release for the vertical, and that can kind of give dual blades its like risky play because you can also miss it. And depending on how you're fighting against your opponent, you know, they can just try to catch you out. Now, Gigi Shaw finds Arano, gets a toothpick, forces the F1 for the combo breaker, and as Gigi Shaw kind of close gaps towards a heal, we are going to see Arano go for the same reset, and then Gigi Shaw just trying to bait him out from stopping healing by scare rushing around. I think I understand what he's kind of going for there, and that's good. Now, Wang Liang finds gold dual blades off of Akame's body. Now, Wang Liang has two. Now, wait, he didn't find it. Wait, Frostivus found it. And Frostivus actually has Kabloom. And Frostivus just picks up his second elimination there, right? Gonna have to see this. Frostivus looks to the hold check. The V1 comes out here. I'm gonna see Wang Liang get caught to the F1. Disenchants immediate. Holds the L&B uppercut. F1's available in 3, 2, 1. Nice chance here, but the third party coming for XXY as well as with Verse actually dropping in here to try to get himself a elimination. As it comes out here, Frostivus catches that with a nice Kabloom. And of course, XXY is trying to capture out Frostivus as it comes through. Frostivus looks towards this moment. We're going to see Frostivus actually get himself almost caught out here. Grapple stagger, pistol shots, assault smolder. He has Vermilions already, so he's good to go. And then we're going to see T225 looking to try to distance this one with Verse in mind. Now, Verse has himself to have this variation ultimate to be ready. Horizontal was confirmed, but T225 can just walk away from this, get some heal over time, and it's going to burn one armor powder as a result. Going into Plume Castle here right now. 17-minute mark. We are going to see Exin, though, after losing his Romy Yang. Up against JL's AS. He's got 2 minutes until Romy Yang depletion. Nice, sick parry, right? And enforcing his dodge to actually avoid the F1 knockback from the Tessa. Now, Exin has a little bit of a proposition here in terms of the Tessa ultimate. Dodges it, goes right back in, uses as much iframe possibility as possible, gets Exin in this position and locked into the corner. And then when the 1, 2, 3s come out here, it's going to be a problem. But he didn't use his dash here. Can go for an enchant, goes for it, has himself to use the last dash to actually utilize that close gap position for him to get the R&B off the cliffside, eliminating AS as a result. And as Exin has 3 eliminations, he's now currently tied with Frostivus for the most kills. Now Wang Liang up against XXY. RMB is coming out from Wang up against XXY's ultimate, now being procced here for the Tessa. He catches the enchant, goes for immediate for a pistol shot, but it's common rarity, so it's not going to do as much damage as he's kind of hoping for, but this enchant will force this out. XXY gets out of sight of the mech. You're going to see him be at around 80 HP or so. And Wang Liang is trying to see about the jump LMB chase from tech from the longsword. He's going to get that one right there. And this Soul Bloom can be saved here for the Realm Yang, but JDG's verse is kind of close by, so if he feels any sort of contemplation about not leaving that Soul Bloom behind, it's because JDG verse made sounds to be nearby. Now, Bauda lost this one, or Exton lost this one. We're going to see it being placed out here. An R&B spam coming out. A V1 confirmed. LMB doesn't come through. The dodge, though, comes out to go for the disenchant, but the timing was too delayed, and Exton actually gets caught to neutrals, and even though he gets another freeze, another ultimate's going to be ready for Wang. It's not even going to be a matter of time, though, because he's going to be able to go ahead and have this chance with F1 and 2. 1 knockback, goes to the dash R&Bs, catches him off. Clean stuff. Wang Liang going to be going and distancing out towards Roman Yang. Remember, Soul Bloom still tucked away inside of XXY's body in Plume Castle. But Kai Bao versus Jux is, something that could happen. Slash GG Shaw as well. We'll have to see. KLA's KLA C225 and ALL's Frostifus over by the quarry as they kind of wait for that Roman Yang. Exton is still kind of like, I'm just going to walk around here. And it's crazy because Frostifus now has this Cab Bloom, and this Cab Bloom, like, for the gold dual blades, it's so crucial for him. After Alchemy got parried by Wang Liang and finding those gold dual blades, this is where it comes into play. Like, okay, yeah, now we're gaming. Now we got the set. Run the set. Obviously, though, Baldus Exton has really fast E trigger, the actuation 0.0001 towards getting into the Roman Yang, and his opponent is going to be Frostbite, so this is going to be a interesting fight for Exton because he does not have ultimate. So it really just comes down to F ability and how much he can kind of farm range off of range shots. And starting at 75 gets hit as well. 76, 77, he's looking towards it. R&B comes out. Gets constant R&Bs. Hold checks. Gets his clink. Gets avoided with the horizontal crouch. F ability comes out. Nice R&B, forces Akazo. Now he has to mitigate this one. Avoids his chance. We're going to see if Frostbite using his V2 to mitigate the freeze opportunity there. But that was okay. That's why I like using V2 against Akos, because the moment that an Akos uses F1, there is nothing that's going to save them from that freeze at all. Absolutely nothing. To the point where then it can cost them getting caught into a carousel like this, and that's going to be a kill confirmed, because when an Akos uses F1, they are in standstill motion. Like, there is nothing more beneficial for Justina to get that freeze off than when an Akos has his ability to be up for him to want to use it and then gets caught out even before the defense buff comes up. But into the Roman Yang, we're going to see Wang Liang up against Arano. As Arano goes into mech form, Wang Liang is going to go ahead and heal a reset by the pillar, catches the R&Bs, fully pressuring out Arano's position. And Arano has enough chances to parry, but you can see that backline chance. V1 avoided. F1's available for Wang. Here we're going to see Arano trying to look for the horizontal block extreme. Doesn't go for blue focus. It gets caught into the uppercut onto the R&B, and then a 1-2-3 release. We release those as Wang Liang gets the jump LMB to confirm it off of Arano, and that jump horizontal. Definitely going to be a peacekeeper accord right there. Frostbite spawning out here. Now, mind you, he has 3 eliminations. So if he had kept any Soul Blooms, he would go for them. If he didn't, then he's going to have to, think about how he kind of wants to approach somebody. Because 2 White Tiger prowess wielders, he'll notice someone's nearby once he starts getting this aura, whether he's chasing them or whether he just approaches them. But up to this point, Frostbite goes ahead, crosses paths with JDG's verse, I should say. Variation versus Akos here. It's gonna have to he's gonna have to catch out the F1 here, right? But even then, he's gonna burn the HP bars to the point where JDG feels he needs to get himself into that spot. Nice ultimate cast. Jump LB. Uppercut's confirmed. Frostbite's catching himself away from Verse as he gets into mech form. Frostbite's gonna go ahead and just try to bob and weave if he can, but Verse can't get an angle, and he doesn't want to go down below, so he's gonna go ahead and reset. And as this burns ultimates on both players' behalves, it's going to be a chance of seeing, okay, I don't got my ult, so what are you going to use? Frostbite uses F1 for that 40% mitigation. He doesn't take as much damage, right, that you expect, but here it comes into the spot. Verse is going to demech. Frostbite has LMB priority, and off of this end, we're going to see Verse trying to get some counter grapples to kind of go for some pistol shots there as the chase is continued with 2-2. Now, Frostbite is at 2 minutes and 20 seconds for Rummy Yang depletion, so he needs to try to capture out Verse. He uses that LMB to delay his chase tech because he knows he's going to get counter grappled anyways. So, nice scare rush from Verse to kind of reinitiate here. Dodges the horizontal blue focus, and you can see Frostbite, right? He's keeping track about how he can get away with of just recognizing that there is a horizontal beat coming out here just from the animation alone. Clean comes out here for some pokes. F ability is up. Frostbite is up against a common armor swap king right now. For Verse, this is his second common armor here. But a bow shot coming in here for the third party. Looks like Kaibao wants to go through this. This parry is going to force the F1. Frostbite just trying to confirm this kill. Gets caught into the horizontal. Another armor swap for Verse. He's working with around 10 armor bars of armor. Catches elimination, pulls back Kaibao, goes for the soul bloom, immediately has his F1 here in just 3 seconds, has ultimate ready. F1 to be used first, obviously, because now Frostbite now have to decide upon catching a Kaibao in his LMB uppercut, gets a Kabloom, gets a reverse into the RMB. Even though all that mitigation is there, Kaibao might be getting a chance to actually have to use V1 here. If he's not too late, he's going to force the sedate soul. There's going to be the ultimate. Now Kaibao uses his ultimate, uppercut, grapple bump, Kabloom, going to confirm this into the RMB. Not even going to need it. It's gold dual blades. Frostbite picked up 5 eliminations this round. Now in second place, closing in as MVP. Exen actually going to be the only other player here with 5 eliminations, and that's going to be because of the Justinas and the Justina as the lobby holds. You know, like that was good. I mean, the Soulbloom denial that Kaibao was trying to instill, he couldn't do that as a ping. He could try to roll up to the dead body falling, but the F1 from Akos are just going to be able to push that one back and then, you know, just push his opponent away. And I seen Frostbite just being able to just avoid every single horizontal attack that comes out, like horizontal blue focuses, whether from Van, whether from Longsword, like those type of attacks that can really be avoided by just crouching. And it's like, you know, it's like a fighting game, right? It's crazy. But we are gonna see the bow to be ready for Exen. He's gonna have, you know, his supply is looking a little bit dim right now. 6 grapples, 3 vitalities or slash healing berries, 8 armor powders, and like only one repair chest on standby. Those 6 grapples can cost him a little bit because, you know, chasing somebody, running away from somebody, running away to catch, you know, maybe for this instance, the Morris Blessing. We are going to have the second to last Moonbane here in just a moment. And while Jux is actually trying to see about getting high ground position, we are going to see him get to the sky here. Just what's the situation looking like around him? And then Frostbite, you know, he's chilling out here to the east of the Morris Blessing. Obviously, right now, he's at 54% ultimate. So he's just kind of trying to farm that one out while the enemies are kind of like, you know, just around the corner and just fighting around. And it just comes down towards, you know, who can pick up that. Yeah, who can pick up the gold armor. And that's Wang Liang. He actually, keep in mind, right? Like, we know Zipings use F2 to kind of confirm Morris Blessings in the past. We've seen that. He uses his F1 because he gets caught out, which then it's not really a preemptive skill that can be still used afterwards. Even though the Foxfire's effect's up for 3 seconds, this is like where it gets dangerous for Wang because now he has to like schmoove around. He's at 4 to 5 ratio for the healing to armor powder ratio, and right now it's kind of a weird spot where like there's still Jades to be left behind. Where there's a martial artist skill there, so it could be Will Hook form. We're gonna have to see his verticals to see if that changes. And he's buying supply. He should be buying supplies. Although he doesn't have an item back to be unlocked. There we go. Okay, cool. But I think Wang Liang has to play this careful because he's got another pair of dual halberds. If things get dangerous where he gets parried and he has to use F1, he can't pick up his dual halberds. He just goes straight to the secondary one on standby. Now, Hong Sword is in Frostbite's hands, if I'm not mistaken. And looking at towards his towards his Soul Jade, I'll take a look and see about what he's got in hand. Give me one moment. Not a Roar Burst. I think his Soul Jade actually was looking at this. Merciless Havoc? Let me see. Because I can take a look right quick while we're going through here. I'm looking at the symbols to make sure I'm catching them through. That is a Dragon War. So Frostbite has a Dragon War. Tough to see that because he doesn't have any nunnies. But you know, I mean, it's just gonna be the basis of it. For his, you know, for his, if he accrues a gold pair of nunnies, you know, that's kind of one thing. But purple nunnies will do just fine. And he also has a Vajra. He has another proc of Vajra script. We saw that kind of save his placement, not his placement, but it saved his loss of his weapon being dropped on the ground earlier before. So he's still holding on to the Vajra's grip just in case. Just so that way he can get some sort of you know, insurance policy for his weapon to stay on hand, so that way he can use ultimate at its full capacity instead of having to manually change out his weaponry. So you know, it's going to be up to him to, you know, kind of work that one out, but he's going to be working it through. TE's Jux has his fan on standby. We are going to see whether or not TE's Jux is going to be looking towards kind of like, you know, safety netting against Wang Liang, because Wang Liang is just like hippity hoppity hoopity. You don't want to instigate here. There's 6 minutes left. It's really only until the 4-minute mark where range shots start to come out here for a lot of these players, because at that point you have to kind of poke them out for supplies, and then by the point that it reaches into 2 minutes, they'll have, you know, little to no supplies possibly, and to the extent of getting pushed out by getting ranged gamed on, and you know, it comes out to that. Now, first round Yang, we had Frostbus versus XXY. Frostbus won this fight, if I'm not mistaken. Perry comes out here. XXY gets F1 off. He's going to go ahead and try to bait out the LMB. Gets the uppercut. Goes for a swap into the 2-on-1 for the staff. And then trying to catch a stagger with a jump LMB. But a triple roll from XXY. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. Gets right into mech. And Frostbus goes for heals. Nice V2 to avoid the mitigation of that, to mitigate the damage off of that. But this cannon shot, almost confirms. Frost was already at full reset. XXY wasn't able to find time to reset, it looks like. And he's going to look for his LMBs here. Gets parried as a result. F1 invested. And a chase comes out from Frostbus. No parry, but he catches those RMBs into the jump LMBs. And that's going to be where he wins out that round. Now, Wang Liang has been getting followed by Jux a little too hard here. To the point where it's like, you know, I know exactly where you've been the whole time. You know, I've been sending, I'm your pen pal, man. I've been sending you letters, you know. The date is April 6th, 2024. I released a 1, 2, 3 today in memory of you. It's like, wait a second. Because Wang Liang, you know, he did that earlier. So you're going to have to see how that kind of comes out here. Exen, though, just schmoving. Truly one of the W keys of all time. Honestly, Exen, though, has this first place position close to the bag. His only opponent in terms of that standing, ironically close enough, is Frostibus, considering they're right next to each other. But Wang Liang could disrupt this. You can see him. He's doing the same thing. Exen's like, whoa. Cannon shots go through the building, though, gives Wang Liang just like really an opportunity to kind of pressure out Exen because of this Moonbane. Since on the corner of this building, the Moonbane strikes are able to actually still reach. The Moonbane's done. That was the final Moonbane to his lobby. We hit into stagnation, you know, as I make mentions before. Stagnation comes out here pretty apparent. In solos rounds, it's really a last minute ditch, or it's like 6 minutes of the fights, or 6 minutes of the round can end up being just nothing, because it's just all about positioning here. They don't want to kind of pressure, but TT25, right, for instances, he's getting captured out here. Bow shot to the bow shot, almost getting caught out back to back, gets caught to that last cannon shot, is going to lose his armor. He's going to lose another bar of armor, but he's getting some heal back from the F1, unless he has tuna. But he's also having that the armor powder is being consumed like water here, so he's going to have to be very careful about how he kind of wants to proceed onto this end. Now I'm looking at towards how Wang Liang wants to pressure into this building. Cannon shots coming out here for TT25 into the corner. Really strong point for him to pressure this building out, but he can't do it without the eyes of Jux, as well as with Exen on bow duty. When he decides to switch over to a ranged weapon, Jux will be ready for a bow shot to confirm him stuck into range shot position. Wang Liang doing the W key. Bring. He's going to go into Dragon-like mode, and obviously with Frostivus having himself within the dual blade, it's going to keep the Cavalry to avoid any range shots, especially from Exen, because you know Exen takes the Book of Shaw and uses this to his advantage for bows. And T25 just holds his building down. 3 minutes. Still holding on for this Akame in this corner by an open view. No one will take advantage of Akame unless they have a defensive position themselves between rocks to avoid it. And as long as somebody, until somebody decides to initiate that contact on Akame, they'll hear it completely on the hit marks and whatnot. So you're going to see Wang Liang just go to the sky and just wait this one out. Bow shot to find out Wang. You see Exen is hitting those shots. Okay, that's a good chunk of armor. That's 700 damage. That's actually 650 damage. Yeah, Wang Ling gonna have to burn through heals. Actually, he's gonna use both heals. That's kind of tough, quite honestly, because now he's at 6. All right, here we go. Exen tries to go into a fight onto the ground level. Cannon shots coming out from from Jux, I should say, coming out against Exen, and Exen's gonna be going onto their side while Akame just getting his reposition here, while Bauda's Exen is still like rotating around. Might be Wang Ling's benefit here for the Dragon-like Might to not be used just until yet. And the reason I say that is because I don't think he actually has any other weapons besides dual halberds. Never mind. That's all he's got. Yeah. This is about to get violent really fast here. Exen has no armor here for about a good 650, so he's going to have to avoid these bow shots coming in from the side from Frostibus, as he has a common bow. Switches out to the dual blades again, and Exen actually locked into this corner, gets bow shotted, but doesn't take too much damage. Horizontal to release off of Wang Liang. Wang Liang finds that V1 ultimate, avoids T225, and a freeze. A really wild haymaker amount of freezes from Exen. He's going to die here as a result. Jux finds the elimination. Frostibus goes ahead and keeps his corner off this end. Wang Liang has his chance to Dragon-like Might, but he's at 500 HP right now, so he has no ultimate cast to come out here. He catches some poke damage from a blue focus, but he doesn't commit towards it for a full duration, just because whether he thought he might have gotten parried or he just be able to get the kill. But Akame gets killed out here. Frostibus gets his 6th elimination, closing in as MVP. We still have Wang Liang at 4 though. Still has a chance here to kind of secrete into victory, but he's stuck in the building with 1 HP, and you know Wang Liang can try to look for a heal in the face. Danger 1, 2, 3 almost comes out here. Wang Liang goes in the zone, finds a blue armor as a swap. Keeps himself healthy for the vitality, gets caught to the enchant due to Jux's position of locking this one in. And the zone damage might cause a little bit of trouble here for Wang Liang in just a second as he tries to walk out here. But it looks like he's carried by the zone circle, not closing in as fast as he might have thinking. And with that, Frostibus holds the ground level. T225 with those RMBs, and then catching Wang Liang off of a grapple bump, forcing the F1. Wang Liang gets into the sky. He has F1, a V1 in around 30 percentage points. Frostibus uses F1, ground level, hits T225 with a clink, has ultimate, locking enemies away from them to the zone, and he can actually do this as an offensive defensive measure. Here we go, seeing about how he can lock away Jux. F1 is initiated by Jux, and he's in the zone, so he's eating up free damage, and Frostibus trying to get last hit priority off of this. He gets it. That's going to be 7. He's going to be looking towards T225, avoids the V2. T225 taking a burn damage as well with Frostibus, but it looks like Frosty's going to be the first one eliminated here, and he's going to go ahead and have around 6 eliminations. A tied score between T225 and Wang Liang, so the ranking points won't be so significant against Frostibus, and that actually might give him his MVP. I'm actually seeing that, right? First MVP. Let's get it. I'm glad. I'm really glad. 10.6, 7 kills, 9.1 with the kill point, 7.6 for Wang Liang, and then off of this end we are gonna have. Sorry about that. Gonna go ahead and eat that one because I'm still going to be going through. Exen's in 3rd place with 7 eliminations, or 7 points, with 4.8 for T225, Akame with 3.4, 2.8, 2.7, Jux to Kai Bao, 1 for Verse, 0.5 for Arano, 0.5 for Shaw, and an XXY and AS with 0. And that's going to be our first game standings. This scoreboard right here for day 1 this week. And then we're going to have game 2 to be cloudy, with Frostibus getting MVP here. Take a look at his stats and seeing about what he's kind of working off of. The Dragon War, he never had nunnies in his hands. He's just been using dual blades with the Cablum. That was his biggest play. Advanced Heal also giving him enough sustain throughout the fights if he finds the time to do so. But the Vajra's Grip giving him situations where he can actually throw the blue focus like he did against Verse, to actually allow for him to keep that weapon for that 1 point. And then obviously when it came down towards Cablum, just being able to be on the move and extending uppercuts with ease. And yeah, pretty good from him. And I'm glad. First MVP. Let's get it. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and allow for ourselves to be going into round 2. I appreciate you guys for taking the time and watching this video. If you reached this point, any suggestions, any feedback, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, follow, like if you do feel the necessary tendency to do so. I'll still keep making these videos to kind of go off of the NBPL as analysis comes out. And with that being said, take it easy, guys.